Alright, hey guys, I've always thought it's been really fun to take something that is rough in the raw, specifically like pieces of wood, and then smooth them down, sand them down, grind them down, cut them up so you can really see what's inside. It's really neat when something that is just naturally really gnarly on the outside, you open it up and you can see what is revealed on the inside. So I have a lot of firewood here at my shop. I just collect it, get it for free, just chunks of wood. So I found it's been really cool. I got this birch wood actually from my parents' house. They had some trees cut down. And it's been really neat to split it. And one piece I split it and it just had these beautiful colors in it. So I thought it'd be neat to split some of it up and then try running it through my planer that I have in the shop, and just to see what is underneath there and really reveal the really cool colors that are inside there. So we're gonna do some of that today. All right, I think we found hopefully some fun pieces to play with, but that's what's fun, is not really knowing what we're dealing with. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to even play around with how I wanna first split the pieces. So we're gonna just hack them in pieces, half, whatever, make slabs out of them that are still gonna be really rough. The final thing will be sending them through the planer, which you will see what that is, that gets them nice and flat. I think I've got some really cool potential pieces. I might have to trim some more because I think I'll have to check, but I think I can only go 4 inches tall, maybe a little taller to start with on my planer. So starting with a piece that thick and then going down from there. This piece I think could be really cool with a knot right there. The more we plane off, it's just gonna be big circular grain right there. Really pretty colors in the center. This birch obviously has the sapwood out here, really light color, and then this is the heartwood, but I love the variation in it. Even one piece I cut earlier even had some, well, this has got kind of some green in it too, but like some green streaks in it, and it'll look really cool with this. This is what they call a live edge. Anytime you see like a table or whatever with a bark or just a rough edge like that, where even if the bark is peeled off but it's still rough, they call that a live edge. So I really want to try to get that one through, but I might have to make it thinner somehow, but I don't want to really kill this either. So I'm gonna have to play around with that one a little bit. This one is really, that's the sapwood on the outside, because as you can see, if this was a circle, I just shaved off the outside. So the more we plane out of here, we'll start to get into that coloring there too. So that could be really neat, especially with this knot right here, right at the end. Could have that neat grain if it doesn't fly apart in the planer. This piece has the potential to be really neat too. Unfortunately, from here to here, down to there, it's well over my 12 inches. So I think it'll still be really neat to carve some of this off here, get rid of some of that, but still leaving as much of this gnarly bit as possible, then run it through, because you got the neat color and then the really neat bark on the live edge out there. Even that side, really neat. This is a little bit of rot right here. These trees, there are some huge rotten spots in these trees when they were at my parents' house. So there's a little bit of rot, but we'll be getting rid of that. This is also really thick still, So I'm gonna need to trim it up, probably with a splitter first, but we'll see how it goes. So, just to get the width to where it'll fit through the planer, I've just been cutting off a few little knots, still leaving as much of this pretty white bark as I can. And there was a big, in fact, this was on here somehow. I started cutting it. Now I'm just kind of chopping a little bit more of it just to get it to fit through the planer. All right, whenever you want. All right, so we're at a point now where you can see we've got some nice flat edges. It's fairly uniform and consistent at about 4 inches. So we've taken a couple inches off. Obviously those first lot of passes were just taking little tiny bits off, but there's some really neat shape and stuff like that on this live bark edge here. Neat knot here, neat knot here. I found, which might show up in the time-lapse video, that I had to keep backing off the planer because this gnarly knotted wood, curled wood right here was really tough, and probably with razor sharp knives in the planer it probably would have gone through it, but these aren't the sharpest in the world, which is good because this is wet wood and it'll gum up those knives, and dull, really sharp knives. So anyway, I just had to go a little slower and back off a little bit and then go down again, but there's some really neat grain inside here. I think this is really cool looking right here. This has some cool stuff too. This is that rotten area, which again, we're gonna plane that out, it'll be gone. But anyway, getting nice flat surfaces now, so now it's gonna be creating a lot more wood chips also. All right, I think we're at a good point right here. We've got a nice thick chunk of wood, about 2.5 or so inches thick. And it did reveal some really neat grain, I think. I love this knot right here, and then the sapwood going around it, the streaky colors, all different kinds of colors in there. You know, yellow, red, purple, some green kind of hues. I love these knots here. I think this one is really pretty here too, especially when this piece of wood is dried and then has like an oil or a clear coat on it. That will set that off. I mean, a lot of this grain, but especially the knots like that, it's gonna be beautiful. So we are going to decide what to make out of this. So it's not just left as a chunk of wood. We'll make something hopefully cool out of it, and we'll do that in the next video and see what we end up with. All right, see you then.